Here we are, back again with the pit. This time we're back for episode 9. Today we are joined by very special guest, Socco. How are we doing, Socco?
Not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad. Loving life. Another day, another dollar, as they say. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Inglorious Gaming coach for this coming season. He is with Avo, Dan, Josh, and Paddy. Exciting roster, Socco.
Too right, mate. I can't wait.
It's looking like a good year, to be honest, and
It's feeling like a great year, I won't lie.
your lads are already causing a stir. I
Trust me,
absolutely
mate.
love it. But segment 1, we're going to get to know the man, Socco, what everyone calls the Goach. We all know the man. So let's have a look over some of your previous results as a coach. And I mean, you've had some great names in there as well. Let's not get that twisted. Some absolutely great names. I mean, Nuke J, the one that stands out the most.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's not start on that. Let's not start
Big
on
up
that. But
Dylan. Big up Greg's.
but was it Flux Esports where you had 11, Sean, Snake, and Divil?
It was, yep.
I mean, unbelievable roster. You've had a top 16 there, a top 32, a top 6 in Cup 4. Like, unbelievable. Let's
Couple of
let's
good
talk about
results.
let's talk about that Vanguard year as well. Actually, while we're on the subject, how did you find coaching that?
Well, I started coaching in Cold War, so I started with Finn in 11 and then worked my way up from there. But Vanguard was pretty straightforward. It was a simple game.
Was it easy to sort of learn, easy to pick up?
Yeah, took me like 10 minutes, mate, I won't lie. I know that sounds big-headed, but it did. It took me like 10 minutes to figure it out.
So excluding this year, if you go at Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, would you say Vanguard was the easiest one to pick up?
Uh, Cold War and Vanguard were, well, they weren't similar, but they were similar to like learn, if you know what I mean.
Pretty basic.
Yeah, pretty like standard stuff. And then you get MW2, which is just an absolute carnage fest. And then whatever this game is, which is, but yeah, we won't talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty simple to pick up, I won't lie.
because I mean, going from Cold War to that, I mean, it was completely different. But let's look at that Cold War as well. Do you want to talk us through some of the names that you had during that Cold War season?
Uh, well, I had Shaxter, had Wardy for a bit, had him for a couple weeks. Piero, that guy's mental. I love him. Nuke JB just, yeah, cheating, but yeah. And then before that, it was 11 Finn, Capilux, and Nuke J as well. But other than that, that was pretty much it for the season.
So was 11 like your one of your first? Was that the one that you sort of got started with?
That was Finn.
Yeah.
I stopped playing MW 2019 because the game was crap. So, and then I got back in touch with Finn, played with him for a bit, and then couldn't be bothered again. So I got into coaching. I got his VODs and whatever, and then went into the season with Finn in 11. That's how that came about.
And then back in Vanguard, you were back with 11.
Yeah, I stuck with him through thick and thin.
Dangerous duo, by the way.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad.
But I mean, and then we've got Avo. Tell me about how you managed to form the almighty relationship with Avo.
Well, I was how that came about. I stopped coaching Snake and that after one of the elites, and then I think it was Richie. Big up Richie, by the way. Beggy comes back. Um, he asked me to coach one of his teams. So I was like, may as well, got nothing else to do. And then ended up just sticking with him. And then Jord came about, and then we just clicked like that instantly. It was like hearing him talk was the same as how I spoke to people before, and vice versa. So I was in a call with him the first night for about, I don't know, 15 hours or some shit. My bad. Um, just figuring stuff out, what he was using, spawns, because he only played the game, I think it was like 3 days or something. So I was up hours and hours just catching him up, and it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just that was that for then. He asked me to come and coach in MW2, and that was it.
Beautiful relationship's been formed ever since.
Yeah, he's class.
I, Modern Warfare 2, I mean, to be fair, Abe's first full year back, and you've had some great placements with him. How did you find that Modern Warfare 2 season with Avo and his many different
Yeah, he's many
teammates?
different pickup squads. It was a bit up and down in it because it was pickup teams after pickup teams, but we managed. We managed to like sort of figure out a play style where if like pickup teams could like thrive, sort of thing,
Yeah.
and we would run them through like the spawn system and whatever else quickly, and then just go from there. Just make sure everybody was on the same page, and that was it really. That was mostly talent that got results rather than teamwork, but
Ended the year in a great spot, though, to be honest. In such a inconsistent game. I mean, you had to do really well to be consistent in Modern Warfare
yeah, it
2. I
was
feel like.
bad. It was bad.
What was that like from a coach point of view? That game, was it just an absolute headache?
It, once we figured it out, it wasn't too bad. It was more the pickup teams and that were headaches rather than the actual game.
So
Because once we figured it out, it was easy. Like,
the
you're
off-field stuff.
spawning someone there, you're spawning somebody there, pick that up, sort of thing. But other than that, it was just the pickup teams really that was a bit of a nuisance.
Well, that's the other thing as well. So, I mean, you're like me. You started with traditional spawns, and now we're seeing this new
Hmm.
squad format. How did you find
Yeah.
switching to that? Did you struggle, or did you pick it up pretty quick? Because me, I'm still scratching my head with a lot of it. I still can't get my head around it.
Nah, well, little tip for you, it's like pattern recognition. So that's how like first learned about it. It was just right. So he's there, he's spawning there. Let's recreate that and see if it happens again. And then it does. And then you're like, well, okay, that's how that works. Try something else. And then that's basically how I learned is pattern recognition. But other than that,
It just trial and
it's
error.
trialing it. Yeah, we like with the MW3 ones, I tried. I think it was about 7 different like styles of playing and looking over it and that, and then it just baffled me. But we eventually figured it out last night, so that's good.
That's what a lot of people say. It's game within a game. The new spawn systems.
It is bad.
It's an absolute
Take me
headache.
back, please take me back.
Yeah, that's what. So take it. So from a coach point of view, would you rather it be a traditional spawn system, or are you quite happy with the new one?
I
Do
mean,
you think it
we
gives a
play
bigger?
what we get.
Does it give a bigger skill gap, the new spawn system? Do you think?
No, don't
No.
think so. It's easier. You don't get punished as much for being put in a spawn trap and that.
Yeah, and I just feel like you can push like even just scrap. You see almost get in this new system. You almost get rewarded for making what would have been deemed a stupid play back in the day.
Yeah, you do. You get rewarded for being an idiot, pretty much. To put it bluntly, but yeah,
That's the other thing I got. I mean, I could just throw questions at you all day. But do you think
fire
from
away.
the new system, do you think from a viewer point of view that the new system's better because it's more mixy, or do you think the old system's better from where it actually makes sense and you can follow it?
I mean, I'm pretty biased, so I do prefer the old system, but there is more like kills and that go about in these new maps and new spawn systems. So I think for the viewer, it's pretty much a better thing, but for a competitive standpoint, it's absolutely crap.
From a coach point of view, why do you think we ever changed to this new system?
No idea.
No, I'm still
Not
scratching my
got a
head.
Scooby.
No,
Nope.
if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I mean,
That's it, mate. But you've got to play what's in front of you in it. So,
no, 100%. And I mean, what made you get into coaching?
eh, pretty much didn't enjoy competing anymore. That was, and I still wanted to kick about the COD scene because it is still, I view it as competitive. I want to get the best team or get a not so good team right up in there with the big, like the pros and whatever.
Mm.
So it still fills your competitiveness, but not so much playing. I do enjoy playing. I'll still play 2Ks and that, but coaching it, you're still involved in the scene. It's still competitive, so it scratches it a bit. Other than that, it's yeah.
Are, are you glad you did? Are you glad you went with coaching and not something else?
I do miss playing. Don't get me wrong.
No.
It's always class turning on somebody and letting them know that they're crap, but I do enjoy it because that was me. I was always that player. I wasn't really like your slay heavy player. I was always like your Rambo Rays, who was like didn't have the best gunny, but he was always on like the right position, and he would kill you regardless if he was shooting circles around you. So
The tactician.
yeah, pretty much. I was always that sort of guy. I was never your superstar player. I was always like your Rambos and doing the right shit at the right time.
But I feel like them types of players back in the day, like they were so big. I feel like now, as you just see less and less, it's just more about flashy plays and dropping numbers
Yeah,
than. It's almost a
yeah.
bad thing if
TikToks.
you do that now.
Oh, it is. You get punished for it. Like Shotzi's the best example. So much raw talent, but we've nicknamed him TikToksy because he just goes for TikTok clips and
Yeah,
world starring people and gets ruined for it.
I like that. I actually, that's a class name. I absolutely love that. That's definitely sticking. I'm thinking that.
But yeah, he's great player, but I wouldn't say brain dead, but it's cutting it fine.
I just feel like that's like touching back on what we said a minute ago. I feel like that's just where COD has ended up. Like you can just get away with it. You can just do stupid stuff. You can just get as many engagements as you want and not be punished for it.
And that's it.
Which the game is the game. That's probably why.
That's it. What can you do in it?
That's why there's not many of our lads left because it's just so far and beyond what we started and what we loved. But COD is
Oh, the
COD.
old geezers. Yeah.
Yeah, the boomers, as they say now.
Arthritis in our hands and that, just still slamming people. Love it.
But I mean, coaching in general. I mean, I've definitely looked at it different in the last 6 months myself as just how beneficial it is. From your point of view, do you just want to tell people what you think the main benefits are of having a coach on a roster?
Well, for a start, you don't need like it frees up your time to look over VOD and whatever, because the coach will be doing it for you. He's in the game watching, so he'll have notes and whatever to like have straight away. It won't take 5 hours to do a VOD session. It'll take I know an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. Um, Other benefits, you get your stuff recorded for you with a big mini map. You've got all your comms in case you've got yours muted or whatever. Just stuff like that. You've got more eyes on as well. You've got an extra man. He can see something that you might not see.
Mm.
Vice versa, the players, because that's my style of coaching. I get them to coach pretty much. I like show them the ropes, and then I'll get them to take over the VOD session. So I know they're understanding it, and if they don't, we'll go over it again until they get it. And then that's sort of how I like to coach. So they're doing the teaching pretty much. Because if you don't understand it, you can't teach it.
No,
If you can't teach it, then what's the point? So that's not started yet because we don't have an official rule set. But that's my style of coaching.
mm,
Call it lazy or call it fantastic, either or. I don't know, but it's definitely helped before. To be fair, so
no, yeah, 100%. I mean, we're gonna dive into that more, the importance around coaching further on. But I mean, like you just said there, just if for nothing else, just the time you're saving the team is like
yeah,
so valuable. But you've definitely got your own unique touch, and I mean, we've seen you already, right? I mean, again, from just the last 6 months, I think from just your name in general, right? From where it's regarded, like not that it was ever in a bad spot, but like it seems to have just gone leaps. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. So
that's the plan. That's the plan.
exciting times ahead, if you ask me, for Coach
Yeah,
Socco.
trust.
And I mean, the comments probably gonna be flying with Coach, so I absolutely love it. But
Love it, mate. Love it.
is there anything else you think that people might not know about you that you want to share, or do you think we've covered it all?
Yeah, pretty much covered it all, mate. I won't lie.
I absolutely love it. So we'll get on to segment two because I'm absolutely itching. the upcoming season, which is now the current season, we're nearly there. We've nearly got
Nearly there,
everything we need. I mean, we're still ironing out.
please.
Well, I was gonna say iron out the finer details, but we're really ironing out all the details still. So let's go with the upcoming season. I think that's still.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that still covers it. But yeah, we won't go on a tangent here. So you've got under Inglorious Gaming, as we previously said, you're new with your newly formed roster, newly found org. Everything is in the nice honeymoon period. You've got Avo, Dan, Josh, and Paddy for the Modern Warfare 2, oh sorry, Modern Warfare 3 season. How
Don't
excited are
take
you?
me back.
No, don't take me
I
back.
can't wait. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm seeing Josh just planting people in scrims, and it's class.
How good does this team look?
At the minute, because 'cause we've literally just figured out spawns last night, so it's a bit iffy, but we'll figure that out today, but we're looking pretty good. Teams were scrimming before us, and we were still taking maps off them and stuff, so it's looking good.
I mean, scrims you can never take too much from, right? Like they're not.
Yeah, nah,
It's
nah.
not to dictate where you are. It's always to learn. But and like you've had some kickoff tournaments though. How did you think you got on in the kickoff tournaments? Were they disappointing about where you wanted to be? Like overachieved?
Eh, Disappointing in the fact that we could have went longer if they didn't take 9 hours for a tournament to finish. Because they were all up since the game came out and stuff, and just absolutely dying. It was quite funny. I think Danny, I think he had one eye open playing the last map that we got put out. He had one eye open. He was switching between eyes to try and stay awake. It was hilarious because it was on for that long. And then the next one, it disappointing again, but not too much because we're beating ourselves. We weren't like getting planted or anything. We were just kind of losing to our own mistakes, sort of thing. So other than that, it's looking good. I'll tell you that.
I'm excited, and there's a reason that Inglorious Gaming picked up this roster. I mean, let's shed a little bit of light with them. I know you've not been with them too long, but obviously I know this is only going to go one way. But what's it like being with them? What's the vibe?
Yeah, they're all cool. They're always asking for updates and all that sort of stuff. If we're needing entering into any tournaments or stuff like that, they'll get in contact. But yeah, they're all cool. The owner's French, I'm pretty sure, and he's got contacts in France and stuff with uh, what's it called? The French land, whatever that's called. I can't remember what it's called off the top, but he's got contacts with them, and he's in like the French scrim chat and all that with Cobra and stuff, so we can get scrims off of them whenever we need. So it's
Sounds
decent. I'll tell
unbelievable.
you that.
So
Yeah,
he's
class.
he's hands on as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's always looking for updates. He's always cheering us on in the streams and that. If George's streaming tourneys and whatever, he's always in there giving it large. It's class.
You're just selling me more to this Inglorious Gaming brand. I know Len
That's
a
all you
little.
want, isn't it?
I know Len a little bit, but it's good to hear. It's I mean, it's great to
Yeah,
see them come into the scene and then
always
positive feedback.
always getting involved in it. So
Yeah, like we've seen it before, right? I mean, like you might have been involved in orgs like this where
yeah,
yeah,
they
they
just don't
fund,
give.
they
Yeah,
fund you and then you just don't see nothing of them, and
don't hear from them. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
bit
like
strange.
thanks for the money, sure, like thanks for the investment, but
Uh,
like, what's the point in this? Like,
I know you don't make any new connections. You just
yeah,
like, oh,
it's
there
odd.
you go. You're funded into this and that, and then that's it.
People like to just be a part of it, something for just the sake of it. I swear it, but no, I love it. I love what we're seeing, and like, their announcement was cool, by the way. The graphic that came
Oh,
out from
that
the
was
lads,
sick. That
uh,
graphic, by the way.
it was like a little like I don't know, like a little dugout, wasn't it? Like a little change room
Yeah, it
with
was
their
like a
jerseys and their names
footy
on.
dressing room. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
class.
that was quality. So I'm loving the combination of Socco, the Avo roster, and Inglorious. To be quite honest, I mean it's just selling me more and more.
Looking good.
Mm.
Looking good.
But we touched on it a little bit. What's your thoughts on the game itself, on the competitive standpoint?
Ruined my childhood. I'll tell you that for free. But yeah, it's not. I mean, it's crap, but it, once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. I won't lie, but it's still rubbish. It is bad.
Oh, I've just been kicked in
You've
the gut.
ruined the maps. Have you seen Invasion with a little door into? We call it DVDs, but
Yeah, like,
you know B Street with a door. Like, why if they put a door there? It's useless. Like, it just ruined the map. Like, nah.
I know, I know. Like, don't know myself. I was so positive going into it. So positive. The most
Yeah, same.
positive I've been in so long. Like, do I think the potential's there? Yes. Do I think Sledgehammer are going to actively fix stuff? Yes, from what they've done already. But
Fingers
it's
crossed.
fingers crossed. But yeah, it's just we've had such a long off season. Like, how is stuff not from top to
Fixed.
bottom? Like game and
Yeah.
outside the game, how is it not in a better place? How are we
Yeah,
not ready?
it's crap at the minute. It's rubbish. But we move. We play what's in front of us. So
Yeah, how is that portraying on the camp, or is that just the game's the game
it,
and we're just getting on with it?
it is annoying because the talent's there with these lot. It's like, but you get somebody spawning like right behind you, and you like don't know why. You're trying to figure it out, and it's like, well, I'm absolutely planting these, but we're losing because they're spawning in pinches, and oh, but we've figured it out. So it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it a system, but it. Oh, I don't even know what you would call it. It's pattern recognition, as I said before. They just work that out, and then we go from there. Wouldn't leak too much because you know. But
Okay.
yeah, it's looking pretty saucy. I'll tell you that. Even if they don't change, but
We're
yeah,
gonna have to
we've
be
got it.
careful here, aren't we? So you've got it sussed.
Yeah, we've got it. Yeah, it's right there. We figured it out last night.
So scrubbing Team Soccer is starting to look extremely valuable. That's the word on the
Mhm.
street. Okay. Wow, I tell you what, fair play. Is that on all maps? Do you think, or
Yeah, I've every map it's completely sussed. So good luck getting past Josh because he's just a big JCB and it's hilarious. He doesn't move and he just kills people off everything. It's so funny.
is it pretty similar across all the maps, or is there like one standout map where just stuff goes crazy? Or are they all pretty level?
They're all pretty crap, but yeah, it's the same on all of them pretty much. So
There's a game within the game. It's confirmed on week one.
yeah, oh, I beg they get rid of it though. It doesn't make it's bad. It's really bad.
With there being no CDL mode in privates, like surely we see it tighten up a little bit when it gets introduced.
Yeah, if they'll completely change, they've done it. Do you remember last year
Like,
in Rally?
you probably know better
They
than
done
me.
this. Yeah, they in Rally last year. That was the Friday, I think. Uh, they brought out a patch and the spawns completely changed for the open event, and the pros kept the old spawns. They had the old patch, and the challengers players had to play a completely new spawn system.
So was that with the introduction of CDL to private games, or was that just a hot patch?
I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was a patch, but I'm not 100% on that. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, it was. They changed it like just in the middle of nowhere.
Is this something we normally see at the start of a game then, before we get the
Yeah, they done it.
introduction?
They done it in Vanguard as well. He didn't play a third game mode in Vanguard, if you remember right as well. The first couple of 2Ks, they were just for um, prize pool. They weren't for points or anything because we didn't have control as a third game mode yet.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what's happening, right? We don't know when the first event is. We don't know if we're
Nah,
getting one. The rotation are tweeting out trying to get help to host an event, which tells me they know something that we're not getting one
yeah,
for a little
no
while.
idea.
So, but like the state of the third game currently, in your opinion, from a coach point of view, what do we do?
Just need to get going with what we've got, I suppose. Like, you can complain as much as you want, but it won't get you anywhere. So just play what's in front of you and get on with it. If you're moaning about it, go off for a bit and come back.
I think that's even advice I could take. I think everyone can take in the same light. Sometimes you just got to grind through the absolute
Yeah,
dross that
the
they give
absolute
us and just
rubbish.
crack on with it. But
That's it.
what maps do you think we're gonna have in that third mode control?
Well, the pros are testing Karachi and Invasion at the minute. I mean, you saw the sub base spawns where they're flipped, didn't you? That's terrifying. I don't know who came up with that. So I don't think that'll be in. Yeah, that's I don't know. Um, don't see scrapyard. That's too small. It's hard, you know. I don't know. Um,
Do we see a third map?
I don't think. I don't know. Give me something mad like Afghan or underpass just for a laugh. But I don't know.
'Cause, did
I
we
really don't.
did we have it before where we had two on? Did we have
I
two before on a third, and it's just a case of one team vetoes one, and we just played the other?
don't think so. I think
I
we've
can't
always had three.
I can't remember. We've only had two.
No, I think we've always had three. We've always snuck one in somewhere. Because with Vanguard, it was Berlin they snuck in, if I remember right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm no coach, I'm no specialist, and I mean, I couldn't figure one out. But I mean, you're sitting there and you're telling me they're in a viable third map.
That's off the top of my head, I don't think so. But well, I just have to wait and see, I suppose. Like I said, play what's in front of you and get on with it.
But S&D in this game, what do you think of it? Well, I've got you here because I mean, I do think this is one of the positive points of the game.
Yeah, it's really good to be fair. We've, like I said, we were beating ourselves in S&D, so it's one of them like disappointing results maybe, but it's our own doing if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, S&D's S&D at the end of the day. It doesn't change much, does it?
No, but let's go. I want to get this opinion from from a professional, right? This is what you do.
Professional,
I'm
right then.
I'm putting the title out there, right? This is what you do. You spend hours and hours and hours doing this. What do you think from a competitive standpoint? Where do you think this game ranks from our last fourth and comp? So this Modern
Uh,
Warfare 2, Vanguard, Cold War.
oh God. Cold War's up the top, and then you can pick and choose for the other three. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Do you think this is going to be as bad as Vanguard and MW2?
yeah. From I don't want to say it, but at the start, from how it is now, yeah, I would say so. It's terrifying in it, but if they fix the spawns, it would probably be second after Cold War. But if they don't, then I don't know. It's rubbish with the rest of them.
Well, yeah, maybe my judgment's clouded by just the maps they give me back, but I haven't played much com and I'm terrified to be honest from the feedback I've got so far. So
Yeah, I mean, I've played eights a couple of times, and I've spawned in front of someone. He's killed me. I've spawned behind him. He's killed me, and then this exact same player spawned behind me again and killed me. Like, hello? How does like anything? Just give me something, please. Spawn me with my teammates at least. Like, please. But yeah, we figured it out. We figured it out, so it's all good.
watch out for Team Socco. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But so let's touch back on the squad. Let's go one final point here. How well do you see this squad doing? What do you reckon? They're attending the Boston LAN. Where do you think they place? Let's put it on you.
Fu- I would like to say first because honestly the talent's there, but
It's restricted in the
realistically,
current system with pro points.
yeah,
Extremely restricted.
realistically, at Boston, I would say 32 like is disappointing. 16 is like probably what I'd say. Right, that's fair enough. And anything other than that's
Fair play.
like fair game. But
Yeah.
I do think we can be pushing that top 12, top 8, even top 4 if we can.
So I'm top 16 and above.
Yeah, pretty much for the first event.
Solid. I mean,
I would say it's reasonable.
I, I'm all for it. And I think this is probably one of the more heavier supported teams down there, to be honest. Like, I've never heard
Yeah,
bad words said about this squad. So exciting times. Hopefully they can get top 16, and I can't wait to see
fingers
that.
crossed.
Can't wait
That's
to
the
see
plan
that.
at least anyway. That
I
is the
can't
plan.
wait to get that. Just that content of just Avo absolutely roaring when he qualifies for a Sunday.
Can't wait, mate. Can't wait.
But no, quality. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on for segment 2 of the upcoming season? Or you think we got
Nah,
it all?
just that the developers need some sort of help. But other than that, nah.
Same stuff I've been preaching for the last few years.
Yeah, please just give us a bit of support. Anything.
Because I mean, quickly you do see that, right? I feel like with Sledgehammer,
Oh
like,
yeah,
like you see it like they want to deliver, but it almost
it
it's like their
is.
hands are
Yeah,
tied. And
it is. It's like they've got their hands behind their back and like they can't do much. But fingers crossed, it gets a bit better.
fingers crossed. So let's go on to segment 3. Outsiders outlook onto coaching. Now, this last week we have seen some comments from some big names, which there's always this conversation within this segment of esports. But Enable, we saw his words on the LAG coach. I mean, what do you think of just someone like that coming out and saying what he did about a coach, whether he was joking or not?
I mean, he was definitely being serious, and he backtracked, didn't he, on Twitter?
The way I see it.
Absolutely crapped himself for the backlash. But I just think it's rubbish, like, especially with that guy. He's insane. Like, he's one of like one of the ones like I'll even go in just to watch or whatever he did. I think he did YouTube videos, and I'll just go and see like, all right, I'm on the right track, fair enough. And if I'm way off, but I wasn't, so sounds a bit big-headed, but he is class, and for to get disrespected like that off of someone with that amount of followers and reach, nah, that's not it, mate.
It can do a lot of damage, can't it?
Yeah, that would even if he was joking, that could get him sacked. Do you know what I mean? That could get his job just taken off him straight away.
Yeah. Which, and again, that's why we have this segment, right? Like, I feel like this coaching, analysts, some of the backroom stuff in and around the players, it gets frowned upon a lot, and there's a lot of like negative comments for it, a lot of bonehead comments, in my opinion, like uneducated
Yeah,
comments, just for no reason, and stuff like this just really doesn't help it. Like, this is a part that we could probably do with saying more positive things about rather than something like that, but undeserved opinions, and in my thoughts, to be honest, it's unnecessary. There was no need for it.
nah, especially with him as well. He's won so much as well in challengers. It's ridiculous.
What else could he do? Like,
And I know.
I,
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
the man's done great things in the scene, unless I'm mistaken. But I mean,
No, he definitely has. He's probably one of the only ones that deserves a shot. There's a couple. I'd say Mike as well. He's class. I really like Mike, one that coaches Centre in that Boston Academy.
yeah,
He's class. Love that guy as well. He
done pretty
deserves
good.
his shot. He definitely deserves his shot. But some of them in the league, like that guy, what's his name? Vios, I think it is. I
Yeah,
don't know how to pronounce it, but some of them, even he said it. Some of them in the league are just there for a paycheck, really. They don't, that's his words, not mine. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Especially with the current ecosystem, is that one of them backroom members, a coach, an analyst, whatever else. I mean, they can just get carried up there due because they've got good relationships with the players, and the players can literally just
Yeah,
request for
that's
it to
it.
be them. Or if you're picking up him, and him. If not, I'm not coming. So
Yeah, pretty much.
is
Wouldn't
what
be
it is.
surprised.
The game's the game. Connections
That's it.
is
It's not what you
everything,
put it to.
as they always say. But what do you think as well? I mean, I've heard this comment myself a lot of times, of where you see scumps and stuff, coached by Rambo Rays or Aches, whoever else, people that they used to comfortably beat.
Mm,
I'll always get the feedback of how do they take feedback off of someone who they've beat. What do you think about that?
drop your ego.
Yeah,
Simple. Drop your ego. There's always something to learn, even if it's off, I don't know, Joseph. Big up the Big Ten, Div 10. You know what I mean? You can always learn something. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Even if it's off for someone you think that's absolutely terrible. He does a wrong play. You know it's a wrong play. There you go. You've learned something. Even if it's someone that's absolutely rubbish, just drop the ego and get on with it. It's your job to be better. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
You're
No,
getting paid to be the best you can be.
no.
That's it. Drop the ego. Simple.
There is just honestly no need for it.
It's bad in the COD scene as well. It's really bad.
It's just when more people start seeing the value that these background staff bring, because we touched on segment one, even if nothing else, just time alone, it is
It
absolutely
gives you
huge.
so much time.
Mm. But I mean, do you think a lot of the, I don't want to say smaller teams, but a lot of the teams in and around the scene that don't have a coach and analyst, do you think they should be looking for it like actively? Like, do you see it being
100%.
like one of the biggest upgrades you can add? Because I think it is.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably biased, but yeah, honestly, you can learn so much. They'll have, even if it's like not the greatest advice, if you know what I mean, if it's just a new guy that's coming into coaching and whatever, he's still gonna have a difference of opinion, and then you can work on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can go, well, this works, blah de blah de blah, and then go from there. You figure out your own way of playing. Doesn't need to be all rotate and blah de blah de blah. You can just figure out your own style of playing, figure out what works and then what doesn't work for you, and then go from there. Pretty simple.
it it is like obviously coaching. You can go as far in depth as you want, or not at all. So it is a pretty broad spectrum. But even if you do get someone at the bottom of that ladder, like even if they're just recording your VOD, you say just
That's
an
it.
outsider's point of view is absolutely massive. You haven't got to get the next Socco, the next Mike. Like you haven't got to get one of the bigger names in the challenger scenes in coaching. Just take a shot
That's
on
it.
someone. If it benefits you, it does. If it don't, then by ways. But you might as
Move
well
on to
try,
the
right?
next one.
Yeah.
You don't try, you know what I mean? It's
No, I agree, and a lot of people get this confused. Like this confused me, so I'll let you break it down. A lot of people still get it confused. A coach and an analyst. What is the difference?
we've got a term for analysts. We call them spreadsheet assassins. It's hilarious. They put numbers into spreadsheets and then look at VODs of like other teams or whatever. I'd do all that stuff myself, so I don't really. But a coach will like break down your gameplay and like tell you, right, you've spawned here because of X and Y, and go this way instead of going that way. It's better to break this way, better to break that way, sort of thing. And an analyst will basically put the numbers in the spreadsheet and he'll find like, so say we get 20 seconds on a P4 hill and terminal, and it's consistent. We don't get any more. Like, we know that's the data, so we'll look at that. The coach can then look at that, and then he'll go, right. So how are we getting broke then, or how are we breaking this cell set, like, stuff like that. That's pretty much the difference. Like an analyst will probably chip in here and there, but not as not as much as the coach, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Do you think an analyst is more of a coach's right hand man, or someone that the squad brings in externally, completely different to the coach?
Eh, I don't know. I think it all works together, innit? I think
Yeah.
it's more a package deal sort of thing, rather than it being like a separate thing, if you know what I mean. I
Yeah.
think it's more they work together sort of thing.
So you punch coach and analyst on the sort of same level,
Yeah,
yeah, even playing field sort of thing. Yeah.
pretty much. You need the stats to be able, like, to be able to figure out what hills you're crap at and stuff like that as well. So
Stats
like
are huge.
like kills, deaths, whatever, you can see if someone's getting absolutely done in on a map consistently, and you can look at that. But even KDs really don't matter. It's like hill time, stuff like that
Mm.
matters the most. But yeah, other than that, they go hand in hand.
You said you're doing it yourself. There is Coach Socco open to being approached by an analyst who wants to work with you on the squad?
I mean, I do it anyway. It's something to do in it. It passes my time, so
You like doing it yourself,
I
yeah?
do it. Yeah, I just prefer to do it on my own, if you know what I mean.
Each to their own, my man. If you want a job done, do it yourself. That's what I say.
That's it. That is exactly it. I am the coach and the spreadsheet assassin in this case.
Does it all. He is the coach, I tell
That's
you.
it, man.
He is the coach. But let's push on to segment 4, advice for up and comers. Now, this was once you, right? And I'm sure you would have loved to be able to go somewhere. We said you did with like even like Enable, right? You go watch their videos and you try and get some advice just to see if your mindset's in, a similar place to where people that have succeeded are. What would be some advice that you would give to up and coming aspiring coaches and analysts in your case?
Eh, well, first of all, is watch as much pro VOD as you can and try and figure out. It's the same with playing as well. It's pretty much the same thing. You look at pro VOD and then you figure out, right, why are they pushing this way for this hill? Let me try and figure that out. And then just go from there, and then working out spawns. Like I said before, pattern recognition. That's my biggest thing. One thing happens multiple times, it's a pattern. So you've got that consistency, and then you just go from there and just work up to knowledge. Like I said, it didn't take. I was nowhere near as knowledgeable as I was now than I was in Cold War. I was just by looking over board for hours and hours at a time, and then go from there. Just get your knowledge up, pretty much.
Now, you said you're not like. Do you think that you're more knowledgeable now coaching than you ever were playing?
Well, that's tough because I've done the same thing to myself as I do with the players I coach now. So it's but more knowledgeable now, yeah. Of like I would say so, just because of more games, more reps.
Mm,
But yeah, that's it.
thought I'd throw it in there, but well, this is it, right? So, a lot of people struggle with this. Like, it goes back on to what you said last segment. But do you think, like, an XP division player, one of the lower down ones that love COD and they go, I'm probably not good enough to make it realistically. Like, I've come to that conclusion. Do you think they can push as a coach, study the game, and progress their way up
Yeah,
to higher than they
yeah,
ever could as a player?
100%. Even playing, if they want to do it, like take a coach's perspective and coach themselves. That's what I did. I coached myself how to not get absolutely done in by everybody, just by being in better positions, stuff like that. Once you figure that out, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So even if they want to become a coach, they're not feeling playing maybe like me. I'm old, so I don't really have the passion for playing anymore. But if they want to do that, then yeah, they more than capable. It's pretty simple.
I just think a lot of players, like you said, like values change, right? You look at it and go, is it worth my time competing? Probably not, but I love COD. And then
Yes.
like they sort of restrict themselves from what their playing level was. But you do think, well, I do, but do you think as well that you can push far and beyond that on the coaching
Yeah,
aspect?
you
Yeah.
can, yeah. Honestly, it's what you put your mind to into it at the end of the day. If you want to get really good at coaching, get really good at coaching. Just need to put the time in. That's it. Just need to put the time in.
There's so many. That's why there's so many eager people down there. Like here, they want to coach, but they just don't know where to start. Where would you recommend them starting? Like if you were getting back into it, where would you start? Where would you go? Would you try and form a relationship with a player, or what would you do?
Yeah, just see if anyone's tweeting out if they need a VOD recorded, and then even just chip in. Like if you see something, me as well. Do you know what I mean? What harm is it? See something that's gone wrong, then say it, and then they'll maybe respect your opinion after that. Do you know what I mean? And just work your way up from there. Just like I said, just watch as much stuff as you can, and that is it. And just learn from it. If something happens, right? I know that. Let's take it to this team that I'm coaching. Let's try replicate it, and then go from there.
I absolutely love it. Have you got any secret tips or tricks you want to give away? Or you keep them all close to your chest.
I'm keeping them close to my chest this year. Maybe last year, but this year's my year to make it big. So keeping
Oh,
them close.
but this is one thing I did get asked right actually to ask you is for the analyst stuff. What program do you use, or like how do you keep track of the numbers wise? What do you use?
We just use Google Drive, like sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just Google Sheets.
yeah, because
Simple. It's in the cloud. Yes.
we see a lot of people like the higher up people. They're like, oh, you need to learn to code. Like if you want to be like a star, a star analyst, you need to learn to code. You need to learn to do this. I mean,
Yeah, you can. It saves you a lot of time, but
is it just
if
fancy? Is it flash?
I mean, it's definitely worth having. Don't get me wrong. If I could sit and have this spreadsheet done for me, then God help me, it'd be great. But I just like doing it myself. I'm just weird like that.
Yeah.
But it is flashy, it is, but each to their own, I suppose. But you can get the same stuff done yourself. Do you know what I mean? Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, whatever one you've got. I prefer Sheets because you can get like all the team involved in it. You can see right, you're getting done in on this hill or whatever. Let's fix that. Let's go into the VODs next session and we'll go from there. Work it out from there.
I mean, awesome. Just one more on the advice. Do you is it a case of if the players are scrimming, you are there every single time, or is sometimes you miss it? How strict are you? Are you on the exact same schedule as the players?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a case of letting them know, isn't it? It's just a courtesy thing, really. It'll be like, right, I can't come this day, this hour. I'll be in for the second scrim, whatever. Just a courtesy thing, really. But I'm there for most of it.
But as much as
Even
you can,
if,
you are.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if I need to dip out or whatever, I can still. Well, last year I couldn't because you needed to switch bloody teams every time, but I can dip out and whatever, whenever I need, really. And but I know what's going on most of the time with these anyway, so it's one of them, and we'll go over it after the map, sort of thing.
Yeah, but are you watching more of your own team's VOD, or are you watching as much as your own team VOD as you are other people's to learn?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch the pros and figure out what they're doing, and then I'll compare it to ours. And then if we're getting done in on a hill in a scrim, I'll say, right, what are these players doing that we're playing? And then take that, and then maybe it won't be the best, if you know what I mean. It just kind of worked for them, sort of, and we'll adapt it. That's just all about figuring out like your own sort of play style and figuring out, right, that works. Let's see if we can improve it, sort of thing.
Mm.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, I just want to know it because there's so like there is just there's a lot to balance with coaching,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like a lot enough people know that there's a lot of aspects to it. So
Yeah, there's obviously a whole like that's just what I do. Someone else can be completely different, and
yeah,
do you know what I mean? But that's just my basic blueprint is watching other people, figuring out what they do, figuring out what we do, and then figuring out what we are absolutely rubbish at, and then fixing it.
mm,
It's it's a lengthy process. Don't get me wrong, but it's once you get it, you just start absolutely hammering people, and it's hilarious.
I love it, love it. I'm gonna go one more. Do you value more investing your own time and improving your squad, or let's say you're playing like a top 8 seed? Do you try and hard counter them rather than trying to improve your own game, or you like nitpick exactly where they're going, what they're doing, or is it more just be the best squad you
Yeah,
can?
it yeah. For us, it depends on the day of the week. We've got a sort of we'll try stuff against maybe some lesser known teams, whatever, and then we'll take that to like the higher seeded teams and see if it works. And then it's but even then, if it doesn't work, then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You figure it out pretty quickly and you get punished for it.
Mm.
But we try different things. We like everybody. It's not the lower teams, nor the higher teams. It's just depends what day it is. Really, that depends if we need to go over stuff or we went over stuff and we need to try it. It's whoever we play is whoever we play. Really.
Yeah, because you see a lot of people, this massive folder at LAN of he goes there, he goes there, he goes there, and like just a hard counter. Do you
Focus
think?
on your own gameplay.
Yeah, like sometimes feel like when you try and hard counter the other person too much, like
Because what you're gonna do when they don't do that break off and that, do you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna be confused. Just focus on your stuff.
Yeah.
Focus on getting better yourself.
No, I absolutely love it. Now that's the end of the segment. Unless you think there's anything in that segment that we've missed out that should be spoken on.
Not that I could think of. No.
So up and comers, anyone want to get involved, listen to that segment with a fine tooth comb and take everything you can from it. So that puts us on to the quick fire questions, which is a new set of questions that we're just going to ask you and our next guest. So you've not been able
God.
to pre-train for these ones.
Right then.
Answer as quick or as long in as you want. Now, your favorite ever European Call of Duty event?
Oh God. Um, one of them's defo got to be the Norbert Castle. That thing's just great. It's absolutely crap, but it's great. Um, the only other one, whatever one taught, when Tommy was playing LG,
Yeah,
and he was saying that looked class. Never went to it, but that looked amazing. Whatever one that was,
Black Ops
that's
4.
one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Ops 4 CW at London. Great event. Luckily, I was there.
All
So,
right.
yeah, I was
Good
playing.
atmosphere.
Oh, cracking. Absolutely cracking. Unbelievable, to be honest.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was a good one. So good choice. And then next one, we've got most overlooked EU player of all time.
Vance.
Great answer, mate.
He's the best player in Europe, hands down.
Like,
The stuff he does on the map is just ridiculous. I don't know why he's not in the league this year. It's criminal.
and I think that's been reiterated already, right, with what them lads are doing in the challenger
Yeah.
scene. Like, respectfully, like,
Yeah.
they're just different. Like,
Yep.
what can you do?
I know. Friendship League, you gotta love it.
Oh, no comment this part for me, mate. No. Your favourite ever Call of Duty match involving a European team?
Oh God. Um, the one there was one in Ghost where TCM got second. I'm pretty sure, which was the highest ever, like before Splice and that one in event. That was really good. I enjoyed that. Um, can't remember what event it was. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. Never mind that long ago.
Can
But
you remember who was on the team?
oh God, I know it was Marky B. He was playing. Uh, was it Flux, Rich, and can't remember. I
I
know
mean,
Marky B was playing.
to be fair, I'm impressed, mate, that you've got that far because I'm not a foggy from me, so that's typical. That's a
Yeah, I
coach
can't
brain.
remember the fourth.
Uh,
Uh, that was that was up there, and then obviously when Splice won the first NA event that Europe had ever won, that was class.
uh,
Either one of them.
gross. Absolutely gross. So, now I've got something new for you, right? I want you to form your EU Challenger God Squad of current players or ex-players with 2 ARs and 2 subs.
Tommy Bance. Uh, oh God, former players. Um, Tommy,
Former or
Tommy on
current?
the AR, Bance sub, Stevo, and Wee Man.
Oh, God, they might.
They would, they would plant people. That'd be hilarious. That wouldn't even be fair.
They could run that this year just to get Tommy back, and we're good to
Trust me.
go.
They would plant people that, yeah, don't make that happen. Yeah, I want to win an event this year, so
And I'm going to roll one of the old questions over to you. Who do you think in Europe is going to be the next person to step into the CDL? They could have been in it before, or they could never been in it.
uh, who I, who should be is Wee Man and Steve. Who I think it'll be, Cobra probably. That guy's talented.
Similar take to Avo.
Yeah, me and him are the same as well. He's just got thumbs and I don't. So
Oh yes, absolutely love that. Oh, that's getting cut and clipped, shipped over to Avo quality. Oh, that's top notch.
yeah.
But I mean, that is everything I have for you, sir. So now it is guest time. Is there anything you want to ask me? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to talk about?
Uh, nah, just like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Know what I mean? Support this man because he's doing bits. Shout out Inglorious. Shout out the team. Shout out Mum. That's it.
Big up the mother.
Big up the mother.
Well, I mean, that is everything. I've just looked at the time, and that time has absolutely flown by. So this is a pleasure. But
Yeah,
everyone
trust.
watching has had the same experience. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, hit that 5-star review or an honest review. Down to you. And we're going to be dropping all of this man's socials in the comments below. Socco the Goach, go show him the love. We're going to be dropping his roster's details down there as well, so show them the love. And also we're going to drop Inglorious Gaming stuff down there, so show them the love too. And in the comments, as ever, let me know who you want to see in the pit next. And thank you so much, Socco. It's been a pleasure.